Housemanship in Nigeria can be really tough, but choosing the right hospital for housemanship can make a whole lot of difference. If you want to know my top 10 hospitals for housemanship in Nigeria, I need you to stick around to the end of this video. Hi guys, I am Dr. NGM, Dr. Njoku Martins, NGM for short, and I'm a medical doctor currently doing my housemanship in Nigeria, and this is my week 27 of 52 weeks of housemanship. You're very much welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I make YouTube videos to help individuals navigate the challenges of medical school, and I also share my experiences as a medical doctor in Nigeria. Before I selected a center for housemanship, it was a really rigorous process. In all honesty, it was a really tough decision to make because I felt like, well, it could literally make or mar my experience generally in housemanship, and I've heard stories. You get me? So while I was in medical school, I was interviewing house officers in my centers to help me and also help you guys better know how to select a center for housemanship, which is a very crucial decision in every first year medical doctor. When push came to shove, I had like three centers on the top of my list, and one of those centers was literally disqualified at some point within the course of my selection of a place for housemanship. And at the last run, I got to select a particular center, and luckily for me, it was on the portal when the portal opened. So yeah, this is where I am currently now doing my housemanship. This is week 27, and it's been quite a journey. And making that decision alone to select a place for housemanship was everything for me. So before we start listing out my top 10 centers for housemanship in Nigeria, I'm going to give you my 5 key criteria for selecting a center for housemanship in Nigeria. I just literally made a small list of it, so forgive me if I'm looking down continuously. First on the list is the cost of living of the environment, the cost of living of the place you want to go and do your housemanship. Now, there are some cities in Nigeria that are actually very expensive for the amount of money we are being paid. House officers in Nigeria are being paid a base minimum salary of 244,000 naira. Forget the other naira, 244k. So yes, so you need to align your vision to the places that you can literally be able to sustain yourself. If you're a Nepo baby that literally have family ties and everything, you may not necessarily concern yourself so much with this point. Second on my list is the skill you want to gain. Now, this is actually another very important point because some places actually help you to easily move into your desired specialty. Do you get me? Now, I know that a lot of centers, there are basic skills you need to learn as a house officer. And I feel there is no teaching hospital that is accredited by the MDCN that will not be able to give you that. But then there are some other centers that have maybe heart transplants, kidney transplant, that do some other basic minor procedures that when you're being there alone, you're doing your housemanship there in such center alone, gives you a little more flair for the specialty or helps you, directs you in the right path. You get what I mean? Yeah, so yeah, the skills you want to gain as a house officer. Then the third on my list is accommodation and electricity. They come hand in hand, actually. Now, accommodation is also very important because you can't tell me that you're living off camp, probably for those that don't have any means of transportation. You can't tell me that you're staying very far away from the hospital and you're on call in a particular hospital and like you have to shuttle yourself every day. The salary you're receiving is not even enough to be able to cover the cost of transportation because it's not. You're being paid literally 244,000 naira, and how will you be able to maybe fend for yourself for that period of time? It's literally difficult. So yes, the accommodation and electricity are an important factor because being a house officer, you need your phone to be on 247, and God, who doesn't need electricity to survive? Please, so yes, it's a factor. There are some places like where I schooled, they do not have, well, house officers still pay huge amount of money for accommodation, and it's also a problem because where I'm doing my training now, accommodation is provided for you, but at a subsidized rate. So I know that the accommodation provided by the hospital may not necessarily be, what's the word now, free, but at least it's subsidized to an extent that, okay, if you save for a couple months, you can be able to pay it off. Yes. So number 4 on my list is the pay and the consistency of pay. I don't know how to emphasize this. How much are you being paid? Now, I remember I said that house officers in Nigeria are supposed to be paid a least amount or a minimum amount of 244,000 naira. But in some places, in some hospitals, are not paid that amount of money. In some places, they are paid lesser. They are paid like 180,000 naira, 200,000 naira. And just imagine being in that kind of a place and your friend is earning so and so amount and you're earning so and so amount. It's not very fair. And then the consistency of pay. Now, it's not enough that they pay you. How do they pay? I know the normal teaching or the normal thing is that, okay, they are going to tend to pay you, that they're going to pay you after 2 months of your doing work or after 2 months of working. It's normal in Nigeria, but I don't think it should be normal. I don't know. Please help me. I want to know in the comment section. Is it a normal thing in your country or wherever it is you are for them to pay you just for them to start paying you 2 months after your working in the place. So I really want to know, do you get 2 or 3 months into your work? But in some other places, it's even worse. They pay you 6 months, 6 freaking months after you start working there. So in their minds, they're like, this person is going to literally fend for themselves for the next 6 months, and then we're going to pay you a huge amount of money altogether in the beginning. For some people, they can't be able to cope with that kind of arrangement. That was the case in River State University Teaching Hospital where I wanted to do my housemanship. They used to call it BMH, but now it's RSUTH, literally. So, but then when I went there and started asking questions, and I don't know, I just, for whatever reason, I wanted to go there to do my housemanship because it was literally very close to home. But then I found this out and I was like, what? I can't be able to survive literally, and that was just it for me. That caught it alone. So that factor alone, the pay and the consistency of pay, is a very important factor. Now, number 5 on my list is long-term prospects. Now, I know a lot of you want to go to a center where you're doing your housemanship, and after your housemanship, you want to now start practicing in the center or start doing a locum somewhere, or maybe write primaries and start working as a resident in the hospital where you did your housemanship. So, looking at the long-term prospects of the place, do you feel like you would want to continue to train in that hospital, which is actually a very huge factor? Do you see yourself staying in that environment and growing in that environment? Do you get? So these are things you should look out for. So in summary, I've just mentioned cost of living of the city and environment. Number 2, skills you want to gain. Number 3, accommodation, electricity. Number 4, pay and consistency of pay. Number 5, the long-term prospect. Now, another thing too, it's not on my list, but I feel like you should also consider it. But then the reason I didn't put it on my list is because, well, it's everywhere. Do you get me? So the thing is the workload and the toxicity of the environment. I didn't add it on my list, but it's everywhere. If you are being truthful, toxicity, workload is everywhere. So I feel what would be best for you to do is to gauge yourself. Ask yourself, are you the kind of person that would literally be able to withstand this level of stress? Are you the kind of person that would be able to, overcome this level of workload, or be able to grow in this environment filled with toxicity and all of that? Do you get what I mean? So, yes, just ask yourself those questions because it's everywhere. And then in some other places, it is more than it is in some other places. So that too can be a factor that will just make you zero your mind in on the entire thing. Do you get? So now let's get into my top 10 hospitals for housemanship in Nigeria. I'm going to do this part from number 10 to number 1. I literally just got back from work. So forget that I'm looking all like this, but I told myself, no, I have to make this video today because I don't want to hear another story where somebody else stopped doing housemanship in a place and then change to another center. You've lost months. You've stressed yourself for nothing. So I feel like if you have a better information, it will help guide you. Now, mind you, I'm not recommending any center for housemanship. I'm literally trying to help from my experience and research. Do you get? If you need to see me trying to scribble out places I'm going to do my housemanship, that was a whole lot of process. Do you get? So just to help guide you on the choice of place for doing your housemanship. So number 10 on my list is Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Well, it's one of the oldest hospitals. It's a beautiful place to be. One of the oldest hospitals. It has wide range of variety of cases you'll get to see as a house officer. You would also have exposure to, it's a big city, availability of research tools and research centers and all of that. Yes, they have a beautiful setup and that, yeah. And then the ability or the likelihood of you wanting to continue living in Lagos State is actually high because I feel like a lot of people move over to those places where, things are going a little bit, things are happening. Let me just put it like that. Yeah. So Lut is a good center, but the cost of living in Lagos State alone is high. Let's be real. It's high. You go to search for an accommodation and all of that, and it is literally just high. So that long-term prospects and everything, and then it's a very busy place. I don't know about you. I don't intend to just be stuck in the hospital and all of that. I tend to have a life literally outside of the hospital environment. So yeah, being around very busy places and all of that, it wasn't what I wanted. You get? So yes, I don't know what your preferences are, but yes, it's number 10 on my list, and it's a federal teaching hospital, and yeah, they pay a minimum of 244,000 naira. So yeah, and then there's accommodation being provided, but then the accommodation is also very limited because you naturally, I don't know, you literally have more people looking for the jobs in those places than you actually have spaces in the hospital to accommodate them. Nine on my list is University College Hospital Ibadan. It is one of the oldest hospitals in Nigeria. It has wide range of specialties, wide range of variety of cases, research opportunities. You get just all of that, you name it. It is loaded, literally, for academic training, clinical skill acquisition, and all of that. So yeah, it's a very good center to be. But go back to the five criterias. Just go back to the five criterias. And I hear that the workload in the environment is actually much. Is very much. Do you get? So that is another factor to consider. Now I know that I keep saying the workload in these hospitals are much. It is because we are losing residents, we are losing people. Do you get? We are losing doctors. No doctor wants to go into training anymore because the workload is much. People are leaving the country. So the few people are available now are being overworked. You get? So house officers tend to not go to places where they have fewer residents and fewer house officers, if you get what I mean, because the few there are literally going to be overworked. You get me? So yeah, consider your options. The next on my list, that's number 8 is Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital. Yes, I hear it's a very beautiful place to be, to do your house job. There comes out in the portal, it's still MDCN verified. So yeah, it's a beautiful place to do your housemanship. They still have different variety of cases to see. You get clinical exposure and all of that. A very beautiful place to do your housemanship. Number 7 on my list is AKTH, that's Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital. Now, it is far in the north, you get, but just recently, I saw someone that told me that he wanted to actually be in the north. Not someone, my friend, we were in the same school together, literally. So it was his decision. He just wanted to have a feel of a different culture and all of that. So yeah, if you want to go down there, it's a beautiful place to be. Now, I hear that from different sources and all of that, they have very wide range of variety of cases you literally never see or you get to see once in a while down here in the east. KTH, Kano University, if you wish to go down to the north. Number six on my list is Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital. Now, I know someone doing their housemanship there, and it's beautiful. It is really beautiful. They now have a new place, a permanent place here, and it's actually beautiful. The only downside to this particular hospital is that where the accommodation is far from where their hospitals are, the wards and all of that. So sometimes there's bus available for you to convey you to the hospital proper from where you stay. You get, and yeah, that kind of a thing. But then the pay is still what federal government pays, 244K literally. So yes, if you don't mind transporting yourself from one place to the other, literally consistently, feel free to go there. It's another very beautiful place to do your housemanship. Number five on my list is National Hospital, Abuja. Yes, I put it on number five on my list. Come and beat me. So yes, National Hospital Abuja. It's a beautiful place to be. Abuja is a beautiful. I've been to National Hospital Abuja a couple times, and yes, it's actually a nice place to be. I feel like ABJ is one of the places where it seems like things are working. Just I don't know. It doesn't have the chaos of Lagos and all. And I did my own selection for housemanship. I never saw it come out on the portal, so I don't think it do. It does rather. So yeah. So National Hospital Abuja is another beautiful place to do your housemanship. Yes, it is. It is a sane place to do your housemanship. But then the cost of living of the environment is another thing that is. If you get what I mean, Abuja is an expensive city. Do you get? So if you want to allay it or compare it to our five criteria for yourself, feel free to do so. Yeah, so it's a very big, expensive city. So I just took it off my list entirely, literally. Then number four on my list is Just University Teaching Hospital. A delight. Actually, I think this is another places I thought of doing my housemanship while I was still a medical student. Yeah, because I don't know, it's beautiful down there. I have a friend that is currently doing housemanship there, and it's really beautiful. You get, it's a beautiful place. If I didn't want to stay in the east anymore, yeah, that would be another place I would love to explore. You get, there's a total different culture there, so yeah, you get to learn a little more about our brethren in the north, and yeah, a very nice place to be. Number three on my list is University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. It was a very beautiful place to want to do house job. Very beautiful place. But then I knew people that were doing house jobs there before I became a medical doctor. Yeah, and I don't know, whatever, all the things that we're saying literally just blew me off because, yes, it's hard to get an accommodation there. You get accommodation, yes, but the is not enough. And then you get to share with somebody. I don't know, but yes, you get to share accommodation with people. Now, these are also factors you need to look into while going to do your housemanship anywhere. How is the accommodation? Do you tend to share accommodation? What is the facility like? Do you get all those factors? So yes, the accommodation is there. You have to share accommodation with people and with someone else, not with people. Sorry. So yes, and but then they give call foods. That's one thing I love APTH for. You're sure of a meal ticket every single day, and it's a very lovely thing whenever you're on call, though. Yeah. So, but then the shortage of house officers going there discouraged me from also going there. I didn't want to be overworked. I wanted somewhere where I can be able to combine work and, life, literally. So yes, that was one of my options. So because of that, I zeroed off. There are things too there are skills I wish, oh, I was only going to learn in UPTH in a teaching hospital where I'm literally working my ass off and all of that. But then see me here, I've literally gathered those skills and I've perfected them here that I am. So yes, you can gather those skills anywhere, but let's continue on our list. Number two on my list is FMC Abuja. Yes, there's National Hospital Abuja, there's also Federal Medical Center Abuja, which is another very beautiful place. This particular FMC Abuja is in Gwagwalada. I've also been there within the course of my medical school year. Yeah, there were conferences we held there, and yes, the accommodation there is okay and all of that. But then just feel like it's almost very difficult to get into hospitals, teaching hospitals in Abuja for whatever reason. So I know some of my classmates that have literally been waiting to get, probably they were hoping for it to come out on the portal or something, but because of all of that factor, they've not been able to start their housemanship. And I don't know, why would someone want to wait that long? Well, your reasons are valid, do you get? But then for me, why would someone want to wait that long to just do housemanship that's just going to be for a year? Do you get me? Now, I'm not saying you should not look at these criteria as we just called, but then is it worth the wait? So yes, the first on my list is drum roll. Guess it. Just 1 minute for you to guess it. Yes, you guessed right. Did you guess right? Let me ask. Okay, drum roll. FMC Umaya. So the first on my list is FMC Umaya. It's another very beautiful place to do your housemanship. There's accommodation being provided. You get to ballot to get accommodation. Yes, there's a newly built place too for house officers to supplement the already existing accommodation structure for house officers. Yes, the place is fully furnished. You just need to come with your clothes and your gas. Very good training system for house officers here, and yeah, I think that's that. So this is all my top 10 hospitals, my top 10 hospitals for housemanship in Nigeria. So I hope this will be able to guide you into making better decisions. I do not know if it's a valid reason for somebody to wait for so long after graduating from medical school to get into training. I do not advise it. Something that the MDCN official representative in our graduation, in our induction, told us was that housemanship everywhere is the same. I would want to say that he's both right and he's wrong, do you get? But then that statement alone guided me because I felt, why am I waiting so long to be able to do my house job? Do you get? It's going to be for a year. I'm not going there to, even if okay, 5 criteria we mentioned and all of that, longer prospects and all of that for continuing your career. But then I thought to myself, it's going to be an experience for a year. A year is not a very long time if you look at it critically. 1 whole year is not a very long time. It will be done within the flash of an eye, literally. Take it from me. I'm in my third posting in house job, and I know that it felt like just yesterday I started my housemanship, and I'm glad it's coming gradually to an end. So another reason maybe I had to make this video is because while I was in medical school, I heard a lot of people, a lot of house officers say that they changed hospitals, like they started house job in a particular hospital, then had to change to another hospital within the course of their jigger. So I don't know why go through the stress of going to that place, starting house job, all the chaos of registration and documentation, and only for you to have to go to another center and start all over again. You get, so save yourself the stress of all of this by using this as a guide to selecting a center for housemanship. I know that housemanship feels like a long time, 1 freaking year feels like a long time, but in actual fact, it is not. Do you get me? Take it from me. I am currently in my third posting in house job, and it feels like just yesterday I started doing my house job, and I'm like, are you finally coming to an end? Do you get? So I think that will be all for today. I hope this video guides you to make better decisions on a place, a best hospital for you to do housemanship. Now, this is not a best hospital generally. A place can be freaking good, but it will not suit your needs, and it will not be a good hospital for you to do your housemanship. So make these decisions appropriately. Take time now to start pondering on it. If you're a final year medical student, take time now to start thinking on where you would like to do your house job. If you're just finishing your final year and you're waiting for your induction, take time now to start thinking of a place you want to do your house job. I hope this video will be able to guide you, and do well to share it with whomever, do well to share it with people, house medical doctors, how intending house officers and all who would be of great use of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I remain Dr. NGM, Dr. Njoku Gira Martins, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.